You are live.
Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk, walk the walk. It's Monday, new week, new opportunities, new profits coming your way. We got NBA, college hoops. We got a lot of free plays. We're going to go over some Super Bowl passing props. And Dan, do we have an inside scoop on a passing prop based on social media?
We may just have that coming your way, an inside scoop that 1.2 million people have already seen on Twitter. So we're going to have that coming your way here on WagerTalk Today. Going to be a great one here. As you know, if you join us on Mondays, it's a great way to kick off the week because we begin with Gianni. That's right. The man, the myth, the legend is back. Gianni The Greek gambler, going to break down his Steam sheet, the Steam report. What are we seeing in Super Bowl prop action? Of course, what are we seeing on the hardwood tonight? Maybe even some NHL. Bill Krackomberger also joining us. He's got a free NBA prop for you. Hit his last week. And then we're also going to get his thoughts on what he is using his brain for in Super Bowl action. Yes, what he is using his brain for here in Super Bowl action. Steve Merril is going to wrap things up for us. He's got some doubleheader action tonight on ESPN. Cuse is playing UNC, and Kansas is playing Texas Tech. Two great college basketball games. Steve Merril is going to have a best bet for both of them in this show right here. And Andy and I, we're going to talk a little bit about the NBA action that he has in all around the world, maybe even a golf play coming your way. But Andy, let's kick off the show. Gianni waiting in the wings. I wanted to give the folks a lacrosse play here for WTF or LFG, but all the lacrosse plays are starting right this second. And the over that we have in the Duke game is already looking good because Duke is on the board a minute into the game, Andy. But what are you betting for WTF LFG? Follow or fade in this bet?
Okay, this is a true WTF LFG. I have not bet this one. This is a literal, I'm posing this to the world, okay?
I like it.
We're going to the NHL, we're going to the Senators and the Penguins. The Penguins on fire, Dan. They have won 6 in a row, 7 out of the last 8. The Ottawa Senators, they have won 3 in a row. It's basically a straight pick 'em, homie. The Senators, though, the goalie, Ullmark, has played the Penguins 7 times. He has yet to lose to the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Ottawa Senators and Ullmark extend his winning streak against the Senators to 8-0. It's minus 108 on DraftKings. WTF or LFG, Dan?
Minus 108 is intriguing. You know I love riding a streak here, Andy. I always worry. Someone's going to comment. He's won that many in a row. He's due for a loss.
He's due.
Well, I think he's due, Andy, for a win. LFG. I'm gonna reach out. Maybe Carm will be watching the show live. Carm, what do you think? The Ottawa LFG or WTF? These people are loving it. People are loving it right here.
Let's go, man. Let's go LFG Senators. Let's get Ullmark to 8-0. That's your WTF LFG. And yes, listen. Sports betting and sports investing, it's a lifestyle. We literally have 2 plays going live right now. It's noon on Monday. This is what we do, Dan. This is what we do. This is our lives. Let's bring in Gianni. This is another one. Gianni, happy Monday.
Thank you. I thought you guys were talking NHL because Ottawa right now just came on my instant messaging with the group that I move NHL for. They just bet Ottawa right now.
You're kidding.
I swear.
They're watching the show, Andy. They said, LFG, we got to get this play in now. Andy's about to move the damn market. So Gianni, Ottawa just came across the stream. Sharp bettors.
Yeah, right now, Ottawa, they wanted Ottawa minus 106, minus 108, minus 110. That's what shows on the IM. 108, 106, 108, minus 110. Yeah. So that thing's going to be 120 before you look up.
Just, this is what we do. Andy. We move lines here. On segments. Gianni. How was UFC this weekend? What'd you think UFC 325?
I loved it. I was one bet away from having a perfect sweep, an 8-0, and it was the first fight of the night. That dude with the long ass name that lost the split decision, he cost me honestly like 3 or 4 parlays, which just goes to show you negative EV parlays all day. I mean, you can't go 7-1 and lose money, but I managed to do that on the parlays. With that said, we straight bet everything. So it was a great night. And with all the action, all the attention on the Super Bowl and football, don't overlook those other markets. And again, I'm not here to tout because everybody that's watching this, you already know the numbers. With NFL and college football and how I've done. But college basketball right now, over the last 30 days, sitting number 2 in profit, number 1 in NHL for 2025-2026 season, number up over 40 units in NBA this season. Like those other markets, we're staying selective, but they're very, very beatable. And anytime I see any of the sharp stuff come in, I get really excited. And like I said, Ottawa just came in. And they're hitting it now they're even minus 112s. So we went from minus 106, minus 108, minus 110, minus 112s. That thing's going to be up to minus 125 pretty quickly. I like Ottawa. I think I'm going to release them to my subscribers too.
Yeah, that was Solang Grongbo who blew it for you.
He killed it for me.
And he was terrible. But I will say this to everyone out there, and Gianni, the guy that won, Lawrence Louis, load up. This man is going to get a UFC fight or two, and we get to fade the shit out of him. Legit. He's awful. He's awful.
You know what I want to bring up? I was almost made a 5% play, but I had lost the 5% in the UFC. Then I had the Super Bowl coming up. So I said, you know what? Let me stay selected with the 5%. It's just a little bit bigger than a 4%. And I've been doing really good with the 4s. So let's stay selective and fire 4s. But I almost made Roofy a 5%. And here's what sucks. That Roofy won that fight, and everyone that bought that package, forget my subscribers, the guys that come into the Steam room, because I explain things to them. But the guys that would have seen that I have a big bet, so they would have bought the bet and they would have bet it. They would have been happy. Ace crushed it for us. We cashed. He went 7-1. We hit our 5%. But the truth of the matter was, Ruffy ended up being a terrible bet for me. And this is what I try to explain to bettors. Before they walk into the octagon, before they throw the ball up, to start the game, more times than not, I know whether I've made a decent bet or not. And the line's going to tell me that. The market's going to let me know. And with the Roofy bet, I laid minus 115, minus 120. I could have got plus 115, plus 120 the day of the fight. So it was a horrific bet. It was an awful bet, but he went out there and won. And I don't want bettors to judge it by the result. Instead, I want to look at it as, dude, I got lucky. That was the product of good luck. Now, granted, on the other 7 fights, I'm sure we got closing line value in 5 of them at least. So you never talk about the ones that you get right. You always talk about the ones that you get wrong. But that's going to happen when you try to get out ahead of the market. But I just wanted it to make that note, because we're celebrating the Roofy win. But the truth is, I timed it terribly. When I got down, I thought he would have been going off at a minus 150. And again, sometimes you're just going to get it wrong when you try to get out ahead of the market. So great day in UFC, great day overall. And I'm expecting a good 2026 coming off a losing 2025 in MMA.
Well, Gianni, this is where Gianni and I differ completely. And you know what I'm going to say about your Roofy bet. It was a great bet. It won. What are we not celebrating? I was watching that live, and I was watching Fiziev for the first half of the round, and something clicked with Roofy, and I was like, "Uh-oh, live bet." Roofy live bet. He figured out the distance control, and he ended up nuking Fiziev. I only had one play in UFC, and I will say this: low volume is going to be the name of the game for me. I had one 4% bet. It won easy. Thank you very much. I'll take my winnings and see you guys at the window. And we talked about this, Gianni. I feel like my advantage is on the undercard. That's where we hit our best bet. I didn't have any action on the main card, and I'm happy. Clients are happy. I think it worked out great, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So
because you feel like you're betting from a position of strength, you feel confident. You don't feel like you're guessing. Even when you lose a bet, you felt you placed a good bet. Your handicap was on point. That's the place you want to get to, even as a recreational bettor. When you get to the window where you have conviction, where you have that confidence, where you're not feeling like you're guessing and you're just, trying to get action down. Because again, like that's when you're taking the worst of it. But when you feel confident, like you're doing with the undercard, you fire away. And who cares that you narrowed it down to one bet? You narrowed it down to one winner. That's what it comes down to, man. There's never be sad when you cash a ticket. And here I am. Well, I was complaining about Roofy doing the same thing. But That's what you have to do as a plus EV winning sports bettor. You're always going to have to review your work, and you're going to have to be your hardest critic. So that's okay. That's all right. But, give yourself credit as well.
Yeah, 2 years ago, Gianni, me and my team, we just made a rule: always fade a Tafa. If there's a fighter with the last name Tafa fighting, you just fade him, and it's worked out great.
He looked like he was taking the Zempic shot. He looked like a different guy in there.
Well, no, Dan, this guy like fought at heavyweight once, and now he keeps losing, and so they just keep putting him in different weight divisions.
He's on the GLP-1
women's strawweight before you know it.
He's just got like arm fat dangling off. Yeah.
It's so true. Let's talk a little bit about Steam. There's not much going on with the Super Bowl. Props seem to be holding fairly strong at this point. So I think we're moving. I mean, you can talk about football a little bit if you see anything of note, but I think we're kind of moving towards basketball to talk about Steam Report this today.
Yeah, and I got hoops for you. The one thing that sticks out with me for the Super Bowl, and this is what's going to be interesting. If you look at like MGM, Caesars, they'll put out their betting information. And I like to look at it, see what they're putting out there, what everybody's reading, and here's what I'm seeing, that the MGM put out that their most heavily bet props, 99% of the money is on these Super Bowl props is what their post says. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 props that they put that they say 99% plus of the money's on one side of these bets. All 9 of them are on the overs. Not a single under is bet. So they're all on the over. But here's the key. This is early action. A lot of it's sharp. A lot of it's like winning bettors that are placing these overs. And my interest is what's going to happen come Sunday. Are the recreational bettors going to keep betting these over, pushing them up so high that then you're going to see middles come in? You're going to see the betting syndicates come in and start betting these under on Sunday? Like, that's what I'm interested in to see what's going to happen. Because a perfect example is like that Drake May rushing yards over. We bet that at over like 32.5, 33.5. I couldn't even give that to subscribers because it was like 35.5 within minutes. It's now 37.5, 38.5 I've seen. Like, how high is that going to keep going when the public gets involved before we see any kind of resistance? Because so far it's been all one-sided, and most of those are on overs. And I've been selective trying to determine which of these are legit and which are actually middles, because there will be a lot of middles come Super Bowl Sunday, because you're talking about 4, 5, 6, 7 yards on a lot of these totals. So just pay attention to some of those late moves, because they will tell you a lot about what the legit side is. So here real quickly, let's go NBA college basketball. Just 3 dogs in the NBA jumped out real quickly. 551 New Orleans +7. 554 Indiana +7, and 556 Memphis +8. So 3 dogs there. Then in college basketball, 871 Syracuse +12, 875 Kansas +4.5. But we also saw Texas Tech -3.5. So difference of opinion there between the -3.5s on to Texas Tech and the +5s, 4.5s on the Kansas side. 874 Tennessee State, Tennessee Tech over 51 and 52. 877 Idaho State +7, 880 Sac State at a pick'em, and then they were betting that, where'd it go? That first game over, that Syracuse, North Carolina over. They just keep betting that over. It opened at like 151, 152. I saw the overnight get hit. I saw it get hit early this morning, and probably about 30 minutes ago, it got hit again at over 157.5, 158. So a lot of over. And that was sharp early, and the public's betting it over as well. So don't be surprised if you see a lot of under money coming late on Syracuse, North Carolina, because that line's moved so significantly.
Kevin Durant looks like he's going to be out for the Rockets. Be careful about chasing the Pacers plus points. Like you say, Gianni, like it's early, you don't really know confirmation. What's the exact value in the line? So just be careful. Don't just look at the lamps. Go, Durant's out. Got to blindly bet the Pacers. Probably baked into the line there. So, power rankings. We talked a lot about your power. Yeah, did you see his face light up?
He lit up. He says, "Oh, I love these power rankings, especially because everyone gets so pissed at me when I drop them." Yeah, let them know. Let them know.
I want to start doing a Monday video, Andy, where I go over
We love it.
Like top 3 overvalued, top 3 undervalued. Just talk rankings. They finally got it right. They have Arizona at the top. I have Arizona at the top. My new adjusted power ratings. I had Duke number 1. I talked about that. I now have Arizona number 1 as far as the rating goes. But power, when I'm talking straight power rating, who would be favored? Duke is still at the top. So Duke is still the number 1 team. I understand that Arizona's moving up. I understand they're number 1 in the AP, but I'm telling you now, power rating wise, I still have Duke number 1, and I would make Duke, you're hearing it right here, I would make Duke about a 1.5 point favorite, maybe a 2 point favorite over Arizona. In fact, one of the teams that I think should be higher, Houston. I don't see why Houston isn't a top 3 team. Houston should be a top 3 team. They're barely in the top 10 in the AP poll. That sticks out a lot. And then another team I want to talk about, Nebraska. Nebraska, what are you doing, Nebraska? When I scroll to see where my Nebraska is barely in my top 25. They're a top 5 team. They're number 5 in the country right now because they're 20-0. And I'm telling you right now, they will get exposed. They barely have a top 50 offense. This team will be exposed. Undervalued team real quickly. Teams that are better than their record indicate, none better than Alabama. I've talked about it before. I'll talk about it again. Alabama has the number 1 offense against the number 1 strength of schedule. If this defense could pick it up because they're out of the top 100 in efficiency, this team's extremely dangerous because power rating wise, they're still in the top 10. And then, Florida. Where's Florida in the rankings? Florida's 19th in the rankings. Okay. Florida is 19th. I have Florida as the 6th best team in the country right now. Only 5 teams would be favored over Florida. So yeah, there's a lot of differences between the power ratings and the AP and the KenPom ratings. Those are the 3 that I put up, and KenPoms look a little more like mine, but some are still off. And I'll tell you the truth. The numbers don't lie. Again, they're not going to be right all the time, but I'll put up my man's power. I won't take the credit for him. My guy's power ratings, I'll put them up against a -110 line all day. He's just been on point because he has no opinion. He could care less. He couldn't name you anything. He don't care about these teams or anything like that. It's all data to him. And I look at some of these teams and I can't believe how well they're ranked and where I have them. Like I think Virginia ranked. Virginia's 17th. That's what Virginia's 17th, and they're just out of my top 40. Just out of my top 40. So yeah, a lot of differences in college basketball reality and rankings.
All right, there's your college basketball. All right, so basically what you're saying is, Gianni, we need a graphic. We need an intro. We need to do college basketball rankings every Monday.
Yes, sir.
I love this college basketball power rankings.
And I'll be more prepared. I'll be more prepared for it. Now I know. See how excited I got. Where I will tell you, these are the top 5 undervalued and why, and these are the top 5 overvalued and why, or top 3. That way the viewers can jot those down and look for spots to follow or fade over the next few games of these teams.
Love it. Love it. It's a great Monday, Gianni. It's been ice cold where I live, and it's warming up today. We're almost to 30 degrees.
It's gonna be 70 here.
Oh, heat wave.
Heat wave, 30 degrees. Let's go. What do you have up for everyone on Monday, Gianni?
All right. The Super Bowl package is up. I think there's 10 plays in there already. Do not wait. The Steam sheet will be up within the next 30 minutes. It has the NFL side, NFL total, NFL player props will be added throughout the entire week. NBA, college basketball, NHL. So a busy Steam sheet will be in there for today. And if able to confirm any premium package, I'll do that as well. Like I said, with the results I've shared, doing good in all those sports. But unless I could, box together something with the best bet, I don't sell daily packages. I'm looking for the long-term partners. So best of luck this week. Let's do some damage heading into Sunday Super Bowl.
Gianni, thanks so much.
Thank
Get
you,
Monday
brother.
started off on the right foot. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good luck. God, Dan and I love when we have new segments. So we got college basketball.
No, that's
power
what I was,
rankings
as he was
Monday. Let's
talking, as he was talking, I was like, man, I think I know the head of the live video department. So I think we can make that happen for you, Gianni. So yeah, starting next Monday, more reason to tune in. Gianni's going to be giving you his updated college basketball power rankings each and every Monday live right here so you can cash in. Andy, we got Bill Krackomberger waiting in the wings. We'll bring him on in just a second. I just wanted to pick your brain. You heard Gianni talk about he's already got his Super Bowl stuff loaded, ready to go. It's rocking. We have some insane deals that are going this week. People loved that, pay for 3 days, get 7 days. So we upped it. Let's get them through the Super Bowl and beyond. 7 days is what you pay for, and you get 10 days of all access. You're saving nearly $70. So, Andy, hell of a deal right there. If people like the long-term stuff, we're also doing $99 a month to get you Super Bowl to Super Bowl access. So that's all the way through next year. We're talking about a year of plays. What kind of stuff are they going to be getting if they look at this short-term deal or long-term deal over at your page, Andy?
Well, just because football is almost over doesn't mean there's not great ways to make money in the markets. Like we have a tennis doubles play that is up. We have 2 lacrosse plays that are literally going live right now. We have a golf play tonight for the TGL. And by the way, on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel, Jan and I will be doing a live watch along. So I'll go over what the play is, but you can join us and watch live and hang out with us. I also want to say this, Dan, the Super Bowl to Super Bowl, 12 months. It's a big investment. I get it.
Yeah.
I do video and phone calls with people if they're interested in that and they have questions. It's a big investment. Yep. I don't take it lightly. So if you're thinking about doing it, you're on the fence and you just want to talk to me, I do phone calls and video calls with people to talk about that. So I'm pretty open and honest about what you can expect. I go over what your bankroll is, like what books you have. Is this right for you? Because, a lot of the plays that we have, they're a little bit more obscure. You got to have DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, all that. Like if you live in Vegas, we're not for you. But you live in any of these other states. But yeah, for today, we got 2 lacrosse, we got a NBA, we have golf, and it's the Waste Management Phoenix Open this week, Dan. So 10 days for the price of 7 is fantastic. You're going to get everything. We have our 5% Super Bowl best bet that is up, and we will have a 5% UFC play that is up. We're coming off of 2 straight best bet winners. So a lot of really, really good stuff. Again, if you want to talk to me, just leave a comment in the comment section after the show, and I'll be happy to reach out to you. So let's bring in Bill. Yeah, let's talk NBA. Let's talk any Super Bowl. There he is.
Bill, how we doing, brother?
If I tell you what I'm doing, you won't believe it. So,
what do we got?
Betting.
Oh, I'm shocked.
What?
No, not Bill.
This is going to be I'm not scalping this, but this will be a scalp. I'm giving you guys a play right now. This will be a scalp by game time, but I don't scalp props. I can't get that enough. So, yeah, I'm betting some Drake May props over as we speak. It's
over.
Yeah. Now, it doesn't take the amazing Kreskin to know that this is going to be a public bet. Everyone's going to be betting over on, but Westgate has -110 on props both ways, which I give them a lot of credit for doing. And I've been betting props all morning because 2 sports books I know comes up with, they come up with full limits today. So I have been betting props all morning. Sending out a couple to clients. But like what I won't do to client, it's just funny. You guys are catching me live here. I was hoping I was going to have a couple of more minutes. That's all right, though. It's all right. Like, to give an example, like I won't send my clients a prop just because one sports book has -110. Like they have literally -110 attempts by Drake May over 6.5. I won't. FanDuel and DraftKings is. I asked my assistant. FanDuel and DraftKings over 6.5 -35. Yuck. I said yuck. I won't give the clients that. I don't think it's fair. Put it this way: at 135, it's 20. It's 25 cents more. At 135. At 135, it's not a bet. I'm not laying. I'm not gonna. I'm not betting -135, so I'm not going to give it out -135 to clients. But at -110, as you could see, yes, it's a max $2,000 bet for me. So it's just, and I apologize, guys. I wasn't prepared. I was in the middle of doing this, and I'm also betting. I'm also trying to find his best rushing yards too, because that's going to go up once I had the director of BetMGM on yesterday, and on my Fox show, he said, I got a stat for you, Crack, because you want to know this stuff. 8.4% of our projected handle on the Super Bowl has been bet. 92%, let's call it, will be coming in this week. 50% of that will be coming in Sunday. So
wow.
I just think about that and think about the numbers that they do. And that's the reason. Boy, I don't want to make fun of.
That's the
anybody.
nature of this game, right, Bill? Like with the Super Bowl, it's like, yeah, okay, sharp guys have been betting it since it opened. You know, they like Seahawks here out of the gate, and then all the props. You were out there at the Westgate. We have some great videos up on the YouTube page right now with Bill over at the Westgate shooting some live content. I highly suggest checking those out. But that's the nature of this game. Like Joe, Harry, Mo, all of them are waiting until Sunday morning to throw all these bets in while they're bullshitting with their buddies at the party, right?
I got to be blunt. I'm not making fun of anybody. That's why the public loses.
Yeah.
Because you have to get ahead of these kind of props, like I'm saying here now. You have to get ahead of these type of props. And because I know that public money is going to come in, and let's be blunt. If you don't have a gambling bankroll and you're just waiting until you get paid, this is not for you. This is not for you. You're betting too much money. This entire network is not for you. This entire landscape of sports betting is not for you. And you know, by the way, I was that person. I was that person as a teenager. I was a little degen running around betting everything I had. It didn't matter. And just saying, oh, I'm going to make it right. I'm going to make a big score and I'm going to make it right. You know, so I'm going off of a playbook of 40 years that has turned around my life, especially the last 30 years, really has turned around my life. And it's made me a factor with all sports books. This morning, I went after Station Sports Books, my last tweet I put out, the balls on them to throw this kid out that came to me and said, hey, Crack, look at this. He said, I was betting your player props that you put out on WagerTalk, by the way. Oh, I didn't say that part. I got to start saying that part in all the shows. So he said, because I'm going to do that this week. My goal is to bury Stations for what they did to this kid. He said, I bet your props. And he said, I want to show this to you. And he met me at the my VSiN show at Circa. He met me at the show right before I went on. So before I went on the show, I had this in my mind and I couldn't help it. I came in with a head full of steam. I have a head full of steam every morning about bullshit like this. So he was betting $50 to $100 on all his stuff. He showed me over the last year, betting $50 to $100. And now he said, you know, this is what he said, though, but I don't want to embarrass him, but I'm not trying to embarrass him. He said, hey, I talked my dad into getting involved with me. We put $5,000 in the Stations app, and I bet 300 on all your props. And he said, after the first weekend, we won, you know, I don't know. He didn't win that much. He won like $1,500. That's a lot. $1,500 is a lot. Oh, it was over 2 weekends. It was over 2 weekends, but they froze his account that Sunday night. So they froze his account last Sunday night. And he said, look at this. I can't get on. He showed passwords. He showed emails. And they made him go in. And they said, this is not your betting pattern. This is a betting. You usually bet $50 to $100. You don't bet prop bets. And the guy talked to him very nastily. He said, we don't like this. We don't like what you're doing here. Take your money, and you're not allowed to play in the app for 6 months. You're 6 months suspended, and you're allowed to come to the window once per day because we don't like what you've been doing. What he was doing was winning. He was fucking winning. Can I curse? Oh, no. Cut that. Yeah. So they're big signs they have all over town. They're big bullshit signs. We love our winners. Yeah. Okay. Take that, Stations. And you know what? I know I am saying that stuff at the risk of not being allowed in a station's property or them suspending me. That will just make me go after them more. The bane of my existence will be to go after them. I have nothing to do. Yeah, sure. That's what I'll do all basketball season. So, you know, I just don't like that they treat everyone like a sucker. They treat every guy, every person to come in like, hey, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? You want a drink ticket? Oh, yeah, here you go. Just don't win. If you win, and by the way, they're not the only place that does that. There's other places that do that. Caesars is, I'm throwing out a Caesars Sportsbook for winning. Now, listen, I like going to the restaurants. I like going to the shows. I love Stations properties. Their casinos at Durango Station, floor to ceiling windows, beautiful restaurants, entertainment. They give the gambler good value on the video poker machines. But like I said, I do that at the risk of being thrown out. But I don't. To be honest with you, I'm good. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to stick up for people. I'm going to tell people like it is. I'm going to tell you where to spend your gambling dollar. That's just the way it is. So I appreciate the comments, guys. Thank you very much. I don't do that I just do that to help you guys and tell you what's going on. So if you're allowed to go in, you're right, David. That's all they care about. They care about your money. And like I said, it's a lot of BS there. How did I even get on? I don't know where I'm even going with these subjects. So anyway, guys,
let's go, Bill. The people love a fired up crack. But what do you got for him, Bill?
All right, hold on. I got some other stuff too, though. Here, hold on. Relax. You get me going ahead of myself. I'm joking. I'm joking. That's all. By the way, Frank Sinatra in the background. People keep on asking that. I gotta listen to a little Sinatra and calm down a little bit.
Yeah, get even keeled.
Yeah. But anyway, I won't give out props, like I said, if it's a bad line. But I bet my own stuff, as you see, for Max Bets. Westgate the other night, I was online there. I bet 10 props. I bet 2 of them over and over again. You're allowed to bet 2 props, go to the back of the line, 2 props, go to the back of the line. And it was fun. There was about 25 people over there. It was actually a fun time. A lot of old faces you only see once a year. A lot of very sharp guys in that line. I met a doctor that flies in from Dallas. Hello, my friend. I know you listen and watch also. Sorry, I don't remember your name. I'll give you a shout out, Doc. I met a pharmacist that beat me in line. He was the first person in line. I was the second. The pharmacist from Las Vegas, very nice, very, very astute. You could just see talking to them, the intelligence level coming out of their pores. Randy McKay, Frank B, lots of really, really sharp guys. I don't know if they want their names mentioned. Those guys are okay, but there was another guy that's a genius, absolute genius. I've only seen him like once or twice a year, and he comes out and is online. So, but then you have the whole section in the back. They're all the different people that were on different networks and stuff coming in looking for interviews. They act like they bet. They don't bet at all. They just come in and say, "Hope a camera or I get my name out there." Or they bet, as long as they bet something, I don't care. You don't have to bet what I bet. You can bet 50, $100, doesn't matter. But it was a good time. Westgate put it up a day earlier. They're forced to do that because of the DraftKings and the FanDuels and the different sports books of the world. But I found it quite interesting yesterday interviewing my buddy who's the head of risk. MGM, BetMGM. I found it interesting. I would have thought a lot of people are betting the game already. He said no, a little over 8%, and he said he has 70% of the public, 70% of his clientele betting on Seattle minus the points. Now, why does that scare me a little bit? Because he said that's what he expects to happen anyway. They were just getting ready to move it to 5 from 4.5. He said they're expecting a lot of Seattle money, and they're probably going to be rooting for New England for the Super Bowl. Now, why I say that is I can't find anybody on New England. I just can't find anybody. Everyone's on Seattle. Everyone I know. I don't really know of anybody that said, "Hey, I like New England, Crack. I like New England on this game." I think they're So that's scary. Just be careful. I know you guys won't want to side in the game. I don't have a side. If I lean to anything, I'd have to go. I want to be on the sportsbook side because we all know God protects the bookmaker. So it is what it is. I have to be on their side. But some great places around town here to watch the game. 105 juice at the South Point, 105 juice at the Westgate the day of the game. That's great. 105 juice. You can go right in person to the South Point, like I said, 105. If you're going to bet the game anyway, I don't recommend even betting the game. Why would you bet the game when you have an efficient line aside, when you have so many props? I think I have 6 or 7 up already. I was only going to put up about 10 for WagerTalk, and I think I'm going to put up more. But here's the reason why I'm scared to put up more. I don't want people to overbet their bankroll. So if you're betting $100 a prop, now your bankroll is only $2,000. which I have no problem with, by the way. Usually I say 1 to 2%. I have no problem with you betting 5% of your bankroll on a prop. But yeah, if I had 13 props, for some reason I think I'm going to put out around 13. And if it's too much, I would like people to tell me with it, because I won't put out that many for Wager Talk. But I want to put it out there probably and give you guys your chances. There's no really the ones I sent earlier were the ones you probably should have got down on right away. But there's no rush to get down on these guys. You want to know why? I am going to be making these bets Friday and Saturday and even Sunday morning after my Fox show. I'll be making bets, running around, making bets on my apps, making bets, hoping that they push these numbers up even more, because I'm going to be taking a lot of unders the day of the game. Matter of fact, I'll probably be downtown running around with Randy McKay, who's a very sharp prop guy also. Found some really good value downtown last year. But yeah, so anyway, guys, what else was I doing for you? I don't even know. Was I supposed to give you something else?
NBA.
I mean, you've given us a lot here, Bill, and I'm loving it. And Bill mentioned there he's going to be betting through the weekend, folks. That 10 days of all access for the price of 7 is good over at his page at wt.buzz/Crackman. But you know the folks, even though you gave us that nice Drake May prop at the top, they're still asking, do we got anything in NBA? Any NBA? Any hardwood props that you got today?
I bet an NBA prop. I bet.
What do we got?
Let me see. What did I bet? Let me see. I have to give out the right line though here. Okay, over 12.5. Make sure MGM still has that. Kelly Oubre. Is that how you say his name? Matter of fact, isn't that funny? I don't have to know how to say their names, guys.
I don't care.
Like,
Kelly Oubre.
Oubre. I was on Action on Showtime, and someone said to me, "What do you mean you can't pronounce his name?" I don't have to. All I have to know what it says, what his number says on the screen. I know this is all analytics. It's all it's more than just knowing the guy's name and his family member's name and where he lives. And I don't care about that. Matter of fact, to be real blunt, I don't care about these guys off the court. I don't care what they do, trouble they get in means nothing to me. I just care. They don't care about me. I don't care about them. But I do care about betting them. Okay, so let's go. His points over 12.5 at MGM and Liz minus 130. Also 13.5 minus 110 too. On that, Paul George is serving, as we know, the 25-game suspension for violating the anti-drug policy. So this gives him some more minutes there. Played 30 and 37 minutes in his last two. Good matchup tonight against the Clippers. So let's go over his points, 12.5 minus 30. You're going to laugh now. I just text Johnny Detroit and said, this is how much it's terrible. It's terrible. I'm a terrible self-promoter. Like, I know that we have a Super Bowl package. And if it's $59, that's a steal. I said, am I selling $59 packages over on Wager Talk? And yes, I think I am. So get over to Wager Talk and buy that package. $59, you get the Super Bowl. You're going to get all these props. Like I said, I gave out a few, and they're even still obtainable. However, I'm going to give out a lot more that I have not done yet. So get that Super Bowl prop package. Listen, I've been telling you this all season. In college basketball, you want to come on for longer than that. You want to come on till March Madness. WT.buzz/Crackman. There it is. I ask them all the time. They must think I'm crazy. Kelly in Vegas. I said, give me that code again. I need to give it out. But 24.4 units last week plus in college basketball. NBA also went 6-2. Great week last week. Thanks, guys, for coming along. You guys that are my clients here, appreciate it that you're watching. You see what we did to college basketball. I was actually mad we didn't go 9-0 on Saturday. I went 8-1 on Saturday, and the ninth one I lost in overtime. I was like, God, Jesus! I hate to lose any games in overtime that you would have won in regulation. So I think I've said enough. I'll let the other guys share their time. I apologize, and thank you guys for listening to my rants, my raves, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it, man. Good luck on Super Bowl week, brother. Bill Krackomberger.
He does his own intro and outro.
It's amazing. You can tell Andy that he's done this once or twice in his life, right? It's the man who needs no introduction or outroduction is our friend here, Bill Krackomberger, and Kelly Oubre was the proper correct, Andy.
Yeah, Kelly Oubre over 12.5. Paul George got some. What was so funny was Paul George brittle the last couple years, and this year it was like he's playing pretty good. Okay, staying healthy, load management when
drugs.
Oh, he's cheating. Oh, okay, it's cheating. That's fine.
It makes perfect sense.
It makes all the sense in the world. Let's bring in Steve Merril. It's kind of like you'll see this in MMA. Like there'll be a guy who has like cardio issues, and then all of a sudden he'll just have this three round banger, and you're like, wow, he must have been putting a lot of work in the gym. And 3 weeks later, suspended steroids. Like,
that makes sense.
It all makes sense. There's been like 3 or 4 bets that I have lost to guys that have tested positive for steroids like 6 months later, and it's the most infuriating thing ever, where you're like, my guy was fighting a juiced up gorilla.
Steve needs no performance enhancers. Steve is ready to go at all time. How we doing on a Monday, Steve?
Doing well. So Andy, I had both sweatshirts literally in each hand today, and the gray one was very close to coming. I had the identical shirt. It was 50-50. I was going to wear that one. This one I find a little bit warmer. The black one. That one's that's my favorite. The one you have on is my favorite, though. It's a little thinner. It's just a fantastic material. People don't know what we're talking about. But yeah, it's a very unique sweatshirt.
I need to hit a couple more bets before they send me a WagerTalk hoodie. I haven't gotten to that upper pantheon, that Andy Lang, Steve Merril pantheon.
Yeah, and for those that are in the comments or one of the merch department, this has been on the to-do list. I've talked to some of the people on the staff there, and it is on the to-do list. But to put it in perspective, this all started when Prez took the helm a couple years ago. So you can imagine there's been a lot of undoing to undo.
Yeah. I remember this. I remember Lawrence was like,
break down the merch department so that we could build it back up, because Prez was like, don't worry, guys, I'm going to get us some great T-shirts. And now we're trying
the good news is they got a 2-year head start on the merch department. The bad news is Prez is the one that gave them the 2-year head start.
What are they? It's 2 steps forward, one
step back. It's one step back, 2 steps forward normally, but it's different. The conversion with Canadian steps is different apparently. So
where's the merch department? Jackets. Skiing. The merch department
is going downhill as we speak.
Yeah, they're in a chalet in Whistler. Good luck.
It is literally going downhill as we speak. Oh my goodness.
Steve, we got some college basketball, and then I want to run. You coach basketball, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. Off this
okay, I want to run an idea about how to fix the NBA All-Star game, and I think you're going to absolutely love it. But I want to get to this college basketball ESPN doubleheader. We got Kansas versus Texas Tech, but first let's break down Syracuse and North Carolina. So give us both games. I'm not going to interrupt you. Let's just start with Syracuse, North Carolina. North Carolina, big favorites here.
Yeah, it's a good card tonight. We've got two big national TV games for Monday night on ESPN. And don't forget, if you'd like a bonus free play, I've got my top NBA play for free tonight on my page right now, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. But let's look at some college hoops here. We'll start with the 7 o'clock Eastern game on ESPN, a little ACC action. North Carolina opened as a 9.5-point favorite. It's now up to 11. We've definitely seen some sharp money coming on the over in this game. Opened as low as 152.5. Now it's sitting 158, even seeing some 158.5 start to hit the board here. So this is definitely a game in which the sharp money is coming on the over, and it's hard to disagree with that. 2 good offensive teams, especially North Carolina. They rank top 25 offensive efficiency this year, but neither defense ranks even in the top 50 this year in defensive efficiency. And I do think both teams can score here. The other thing I'd like to look at when you're looking at overs is to make sure they can get some easy baskets. Neither team relies heavily on the 3-point shot this year. Syracuse actually does not allow a lot of threes, a lot different than the old zone defenses under Boeheim, in which you would beat them with the 3. Syracuse does not give up many 3-point shots, but North Carolina has never been much of a 3-point shooting team. And once again, they're getting a lot of points down low this season. And I do think Carolina and the over is the way to look. They have the much better 2-point defense. So if you want to look at maybe the North Carolina team total over instead, that might be the safer play. I would lean North Carolina, would also lean the over in this one, but I'm just a little bit of afraid if Syracuse can score down low consistently. So instead of over 158, you could look at over team total over 84.5 with the Carolina Tar Heels. I give out team totals because I think there's a lot of value there, but a lot of sports books still do not offer them in college hoops. So the full game over is fine, but if you have access to team totals, I think the best way to attack this one is North Carolina team total over 84.5. That's your early ESPN game at 7 Eastern tonight on Monday. All right, we'll look at your late game also on ESPN at 9 o'clock Eastern in the Big 12. We've got Kansas and Texas Tech. And boy, this is a good one here. 2 top 15 ranked teams. Kansas coming off multiple wins in a row. Everybody had written the Jayhawks off after the 1-2 start. In fact, I was doing the best betting show ever a few weeks ago with Joe Ranieri. In fact, exactly 3 weeks ago, it was Tuesday, the 13th of January. And I remember that Kansas was a home dog against Iowa State. And we both said, boy, how far have they fallen? How strange does it look to see Kansas as a home dog? Well, Kansas went out and won that game by 21 points. They've won 5 straight games since that 1-2 start, including a big win against BYU. They were up big in that game. BYU made the comeback in the second half. Kansas held on to win by 8. So 5 straight wins now, and they having to travel on just 1 day of rest to take on a Texas Tech team that should be in a very focused spot. Texas Tech off to a 6-1 conference start until they lost on the road against a feisty Central Florida team by 8 on Saturday. So we've got 2 good teams here, but the home team coming in off the loss on the road. Kansas coming off 5 straight wins. I like the setup here for Texas Tech. So let's dig in a little bit deeper into the box or to the statistics and see if we have a matchup edge as well. 2 good offensive teams, 2 really good defensive teams. Although I do think Kansas is the better defensive team. I think that's negated a little bit by having the tough road spot here tonight. And this is a Texas Tech team that's an excellent 3-point shooting squad, 39% of the season, top 15 in the country. And Kansas's real strength this year is they've had a good 3-point defense, but their interior 2-point defense is the real strength. In fact, Kansas gives up a lot of 3-point shots. About 44% of the field goal attempts they allow come from 3-point range. That ranks 310th in the country out of 365 teams. Texas Tech relies heavily on the 3. Yes, it's always a random variable, but at home, focused spot against maybe a tired Kansas team, I think those 3-point shots will be falling tonight. So I do like Texas Tech in this one. Minus the points. This line opened 3.5. It's now up to 4.5. I agree with that move. Total has also been hit in this game, 150.5 up to 155 now in a lot of spots. Hey, same thing I said earlier. I like the over in this game, but I think the team total with Texas Tech is the better play. Texas Tech over 79.5. So you have access to team totals. I think both home teams tonight over their team total is the best way to attack these games on ESPN. That's at 7 and 9 Eastern tonight. Pair of national TV games for you free here on WagerTalk TV. And don't forget, if you want my personal best bets, they're available every day on my page, SteveMerril, WagerTalk.com, along with the daily free play. And yes, my top free play today is an NBA play. There's just 4 games on the board. I'm giving you my top NBA opinion for free. And hey, you might want to pay attention because my NBA best bet on the Spurs won again last night. Going back the last couple months, we're now in a monster 62% NBA run. In fact, NBA overall during the last couple months, 39 and 24, up over 50 units of profit. I'm giving you my top NBA play for Monday night free on my page. Actually, it's an afternoon game, so you better get it sooner than later. If you're watching us live here on WagerTalk TV, go get it right now. But I do put daily free plays up every day on my page with analysis, plus those strong best bets. And don't forget, right now, buy 7 days, get 10 days. That's right, 10 days for the price of 7. Or the best deal of all, the Super Bowl special is live this week only. You get every best bet, college and pro football, basketball, and baseball from this Super Bowl through next year's Super Bowl. Yes, that's a full year, but it's more than a full year because you're getting this week for free as well. The sooner you get on board, the more free days you get leading up to this Super Bowl. Don't miss out. Get on board today on Monday. Get on board tomorrow on Tuesday. But why wait? Every day is a day sooner that you get free access this week plus all of next year. It works out to about $1 a play. No promo code needed. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. WT.buzz/SM. And once again, if you're liking these free play videos, thumbs up, like, positive comment below, and I will keep them coming every day. And don't forget, my Super Bowl 60 video will be up later this week. Side, total, player props, everything you need to know for the big game. So make sure you click subscribe and you click the bell here on WagerTalk TV so you never miss out when a free play video is posted each and every day right here for you.
Steve Merril, we need to fix the NBA All-Star game. It's on its last leg. It's wheezing. It's awful. Nobody cares about it. So I have one swing for the fences here, and I wanted to run this by you because you coach. All right. Scrap the game. Go back to when we were kids. Why not have these guys play the games that we played with kids, and I'm sure your kids play? Like, who doesn't want to see knockout?
Yeah.
By the 3-point line with Steph, Giannis, LeBron,
21.
like one-on-1, 21.
Yeah.
I want to see 21 with 4 guys and the winner advances. and I just want to see pig, or I don't want to say horse because it's too
yeah,
many letters.
Yeah, that'd
Just
be
a
interesting.
pig. Can you imagine what if it was like Steph versus Giannis and
Yeah,
Steph is
say, I'll
shooting
take
threes
Curry.
and Giannis is dunking?
That's the problem, though. You're exactly right. I was just saying, the first thing I was going to say is I'll take Curry. Is like I'm not sure he can dunk anymore at like age 40 or whatever he is. So like, yeah. So I'll say my counter to that. I like the idea because anything's better than the game itself, and I would watch that because I don't watch the game anymore. But I'll counter saying they kind of tried to do that already with the skills competition right on Saturday. So there'd be a little bit of a hybrid of that. How about a 3-on-3? I mean, I actually really enjoyed the 3-on-3 of the Olympics with the FIBA rules, and I actually run that in practice now. When we do 3-on-3 half court, when we don't have a full court, I tell the guys we're playing FIBA rules, man. Stop wasting time checking the ball. The ball's always live, which I really like that aspect of it. So I think that would be pretty cool, actually, making maybe a 3-on-3. But you're right, and they got to do something. I don't know why I saw it, but about a month ago, I was starting to research it. And I see that it was when LeBron wasn't on the starting lineup. It was the first time in like 20 years. So I was reading some stuff on that. And I see that they're going to 3 teams this year. And a lot of viewers probably don't know this yet because it's not up yet. But yeah, I mean, 3 teams. They're doing 2 American teams and an international team. And then I guess they're all playing each other. I don't even know how they're going to make that work. It's getting worse before it gets better. I will say it's still really better than the NFL, though. The flag, and I get the flag football is kind of like a 3-on-3 idea. And I don't have a problem with that because the NFL Pro Bowl was a mess also. But I do miss the old days when all the guys played in all the All-Star games. But hey, look, it's the reality we live in. They're not going to do it, right? So you got to fix it and come up with something else.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun seeing these.
Knockout would be insane.
That's what I mean. Who doesn't want to see knockout?
Yeah, for the viewers, real quick, that don't know knockout, it's a very simple concept, but you have everyone lines up behind the free throw line. The first person shoots the free throw. If they make it, they go to the back of the line. If they miss it, the ball's live. The next person shoots their free throw. And if they make it before the other person makes a layup or any kind of shot, they're knocked out. You would have to do it. I guess the 3-point arc would be the way to do it with the pros.
You do it behind the 3-point line.
Yeah, because a free throw would be too easy for all those guys. But that would actually be cool. And the funny thing about knockout is I used to run it with 7 or 8-year-olds. And then I started running it at a higher level because like it's a great drill because it makes you make free throws under pressure. It also makes you put the ball back up and get rebounds under pressure. And it actually makes you run. Like you get pretty winded. It's a pretty great, it's a very basic drill, but it's a great drill. I like that, Andy. I'm going to run with that idea. I'm stealing your thought.
Guys, I was able to grab some exclusive behind the scenes of the NBA trying to explain the All-Star game this year. This is how they are laying it out. Is there's this connect to this. There's 4 teams. They're playing round robin version. So this is a live clip of the office, the NBA head office of them describing how this year's All-Star game will go. So we can only go up, guys. This is like Prez running merchandise. What are we doing here?
Yeah, can you imagine they're going to be setting odds on this too, Andy? I mean, I know you're a prop guy and you love the eccentric bets and stuff, but yeah, I mean, how do you even start to handicap this stuff? It's just, and I used to always find edges in the All-Star games. The NFL Pro Bowl, I used best bets for clients for years.
You could do
AFC
it.
used to dominate. They'd be a 3.5 point favorite. They'd still dominate when Peyton Manning was at the helm. The NBA All-Star game, I found edges. The West dominated for a while, especially when they had Shaquille and stuff. And then, of course, we've talked about this before, the freshman-sophomore game. It took me about a year or 2 to catch on, but for about a 4 or 5 year span, they couldn't set the line high enough on the second-year players because they would just route the new guys. And then that golden egg disappeared like it always does. Yeah. But, yeah, this is a mess. And I guess my final takeaway is I grew up at a time when the AFC and NFC, West, East, you had specific leagues, and the best from each would play each other. And once they started mixing the leagues, I kind of lost interest. And now that they're mixing the nations within the league, within the conferences, I mean, it's totally insane.
Yeah, I just think play some kids games with these guys. And
Knockout's a great idea, Andy.
I bet the guys would enjoy it. Like I bet the players would kind of get into it a little bit because it's not contact and it's not, you're not going to get hurt.
Correct.
So, anyway,
good stuff.
All right, Steve Merril, thank you very much, buddy. Good luck as always. Continue that awesome NBA run, 62%. Congratulations on that. Good luck to you, Steve. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Steve.
Blocked wild tax question. If you buy a sports consulting package and you end the year profitable, can you write off the purchase of the package? This is not financial advice. I am not a tax professional. Consult your tax professional. Yes. All right.
That's a good answer. That's a perfect way to say it, Andy. That's the perfect way to do it. Good disclaimer at the front too. You've done that once or twice on video. That was
you have
very
to
well
do that.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's must. That's a must. That's a must.
Yes. So, all right, let's you would do all around the world and then talk Super Bowl props. Let's do all around the world.
Let's do it, brother.
Do all around the world, and then we'll talk some Super Bowl props here. All right. Rockets and Pacers. Tari Eason over 1.5 made 3-pointers. He's gone over in 4 straight. He's hit this in 65% of games this season. We mentioned Kevin Durant is out. That should mean some more shot attempts for other guys. So last 10 games, he's averaging 4.7 attempts, shooting 48%. Really like that one. Matthew Nyes over 1.5 shots on goal. We talked about Matthew Nyes as a regression candidate moving up. He went 10 games under 1.5 shots on goal. What's he done since then when we talked about it? Well, he's gone over in 4 out of the last 5, averaging 5.2 shots. He had 5 shots on goal against Calgary. Calgary 21st allowing shots on goal. So Matthew Nyes over. And then this is a client play. And again, if you want to join us on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel, we'll be live at 6:00 p.m. Eastern watching TGL Atlanta over Jupiter. Dan, Jupiter is the Florida team, and they are terrible. They have the worst player in the league, Kevin Kisner, that's on there. He can't drive the ball very long. He doesn't really take it that serious. And Atlanta has guys that really do take it serious. Billy Horschel's really good. Glover understands it. Chris Gotterup, he's new this year, but he obviously understood how to play the simulation golf. And Jupiter has Kevin Kisner, who's won 1 point this year. Atlanta has like 3 guys that have all won more points than him. So you take the worst team with the worst player, and it fits the mold perfectly. It's minus 168 on DraftKings. That thing should be minus 200. So Atlanta over Jupiter tonight in the TGL. That is your all around the world.
Boom.
All right. Do you want to do passing props? Do you want to do the Cooper Cup thing?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of tie together, Andy. So I guess we'll lead here with the Cooper Cup thing, because this was posted to Twitter here. I'll pull up the tweet and I'll go full screen so you guys can see it a little bit better here. But essentially what the guy was saying here is that Cooper Cup is basically telling everyone he will be attempting a pass in the Super Bowl. So this picture was posted to Cooper Cup's Instagram of him throwing a pass, Andy. And since this was posted on Twitter alone, or X alone, 1.2 million views on this. So I would assume there are many people who are betting that prop over 1.5 players to attempt a pass in the Super Bowl, solely based off of this picture that was posted to the Instagram of Cooper Cup. Yeah,
it's heavy juice to the under on DraftKings at this point, the 2.5. But let me pose this question to you, Dan. Let's say you and I are wide receivers for the Seattle Seahawks, and we've made it to the Super Bowl. Okay, so it's the Monday of Super Bowl week, and I go to you and I say, Dan, would you like to go play catch? Because we're wide receivers. We play for the Seattle Seahawks, and we have a Super Bowl coming up, and we would like to get some reps in. So you say, yes, I would like to play catch, Andy. So we put on our pads and our jerseys and our helmets, and we go out to the practice field, and I go to the equipment manager, and I say, could I have a ball, please? I would like to play catch with my teammate, Dan. We're wide receivers for the Seattle Seahawks. We're playing the Super Bowl. We would like to get some reps in. He gives me the ball. I don't throw it really hard at you because I got to warm up the shoulder, but I toss it to you. You have now caught the ball because you're a wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks and we're playing in the Super Bowl. What do you do with the ball if you and I have agreed to play catch?
I'm probably going to throw the ball back to you, Andy. That's probably my move is going to be throw the ball back to you. Final answer.
At that exact time, someone takes a picture of you. It does not mean you're throwing a pass in the Super Bowl. It means you're throwing the ball back to me.
Yeah, and also, Andy, if you're Mike McDonald, who, let's give credit where credit is due, was I a McDonald guy when he first got there? Not really, but this guy has solidified himself as one of the best, or one of the better game day tacticians and leading up preparation tacticians. Do you think there is any way in hell that Mike McDonald is like, yeah, don't worry about it, Coop, just post that picture of you throwing a pass because it's going to be part of our game plan? You know what I mean? Like, it's just the social media craziness. Like, could that bet cash? Maybe. But if your sole handicap is I saw a picture of Cooper Kupp throwing a football, what are we doing, Andy? What are we doing?
No, don't believe the hype. So, all right, well, let's go over some Let's go over some passing props here, Dan. The big thing, I think, is this Drake May situation, right?
Yeah.
The shoulder.
Everyone talking about the injury.
Yeah, and it is Super Bowl week, so any little itty-bitty story we do have to talk about. Drake May, 221.5 at the time of recording this. Sam Darnold, 228
there we go.
and a half passing yards. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the May injury may get pretty well overblown. I mean, let's be real. This is also a team who, sure, they'll take some shots downfield. May also was an MVP candidate for a reason, but this is the point, Andy, where let's not ignore the fact of the competition that the Patriots played to get there. Yeah, the reason why Drake May was blowing teams up offensively was because they weren't really playing that great of defenses. Since they played defensive, they've gone to this kind of run-first approach. You have two, decent backs there in the backfield. Ramondre Stevenson figures to get a lot of, action here. So for me, with all the Drake May injury talk, it's enough for me to just cross the name off of the list. You know what I mean? There's so many different ways to bet this. Are you betting anything Drake May? Because probably the only thing that I would look is what Crack was talking about earlier, looking at him in the rushing side of the equation. As far as passing Drake May props, even without the injury, that wouldn't be something that I would be looking to add into my portfolio for Sunday.
I think it's a pretty easy pass on Drake May passing props. Again, there's no need to force anything in there. Sam Darnold, 228.5. He had the monster game against LA, but three way unders. This is kind of another one that I'm kind of not interested in.
Yeah, I mean, again, same here for me, simply because if you're the Seattle Seahawks, if you get a great game at Andy Dalton, great. You know what I mean? You're super pumped about it. However, would you rather just be able to ride Kenneth Walker? Would you rather just be able to dink and duck down the field? Would you rather have defensive scores being what stacks you up? Like, I hate to say it, but in the Super Bowl, I'm not really interested in betting either of these quarterbacks towards their over props, simply because of good past performances has really priced you out of it, especially in the case of Sam Darnold. And I think the jokes of Sam Darnold's going to turn back into a pumpkin, like, those can finally be laid to rest. However, come the Super Bowl, the Seahawks are more than happy than having a small game out of Darnold if it means that they get a win, and their defense has shown an ability that, let's not put the ball in harm's way. Let's not turn the ball over. Let's not go for it on fourth downs. Let's let our defense do what they've done all year, and that's win football games for us. And I don't see why that would change coming here into the Super Bowl.
Pass completions, Drake May's completions have gone under. This is not really a fluke. This might be something I could look at, but then again, you got to worry about, like, what if they're down? What if it's hurry up in the second half? Denver, he was always going to go under against that. Houston was awful. CJ Stroud was awful. They just ran the ball quite a bit. And then you got the Chargers, Dolphins, and Jets. Do you really have to throw the ball that much? But again, not really that interested in these. The passing props, I don't really know what to do with these.
Andy,
these are tough.
I know, and I hate to be like, oh, we're talking Super Bowl passing props and be like, we don't want to bet them. But receiving props, we gave a great breakdown for. Rushing props, you can find them here on the channel. We gave a great breakdown for. I would be remiss if we at least didn't talk about it, Andy. Any thoughts here on interceptions for either of these guys? So the combined interceptions in the game, if you think both of them are going to throw them, you can bet the over 1.5 at plus 145. The over for the combined quarterbacks passing interceptions, and let's say one of them gets 2, it still is going to go over. It doesn't mean 1 and 1 have to go. The over at this number has cashed in, what would it be? 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the last 6 Super Bowls. So 4 and 2, the over on combined interceptions. And where I'm getting that information from is Ralph Michaels. Right now, he has a Super Bowl prop overview at his page, live, free to download. You can also just find it on the WagerTalk homepage as well. But, it breaks down what's happened in the last X amount of years, games that go to overtime, games that get missed. But if you're looking at interception props, instead of betting the guys individually, I would almost lean towards taking that plus 145. And if you think there will be interceptions, taking the over at 1.5, and maybe one guy throws 2, maybe one throws 1 each.
Pretty good. Longest pass. I just think the passing props are not that great. Not that great
Yeah.
this year. So
Yeah.
I'll probably be abstaining from that. So, all right, those are your vanilla, bland, non-helpful passing props. You're welcome.
We at least gave a 145 lean. You know what,
That's
folks?
pretty good.
I'll bet it. I'm going to bet over 1.5 interceptions for the game, combined interceptions at plus 145. You at least have a free play for you, and it's one that I'm betting myself. I'll bet 1.5 units on the over 1.5 at plus 145. Lock it in, Andy.
There you go. There you go. All right, that's going to do it for us. We got the WTF LFG. I think we got some agreement with the Senators. I mean, what if we done a play and Gianni comes in and is like, oh, all the sharps are on that one. that was fun, right? So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. TGL goes off tonight at 6:00, and take a look at those specials pages, guys. We've got some really good short-term and long-term deals for all handicappers. And if you could, please hit the like button. Really, really appreciate it. Leave us a comment below in the comment section. We'll be back tomorrow breaking down more Super Bowl props. We're going to probably be NBA heavy tomorrow. So a lot of good hoops action tomorrow. Thank you very much, everyone. You guys crush it in the chat as always. Good luck on your bets, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care.